Hi guys, I just want to talk to you a bit about candlesticks and candlestick patterns and how to use them as a signal and what to look out for. So first of all, you want to try and get as much screen time as possible. There's no substitute for actually spending time staring at charts. Obviously not aimlessly, but when you're kind of training yourself to look out for candlesticks, what I like to do is apply the zigzag and just have a look to see at the corners of these zigzags, what do the candlesticks look like? Because obviously the zigzags, when they change and give you that change of direction, that is when the market is turning around. So you want to just take a note and just have a look to see what do the candlesticks look like at that point. So I just want to go over, obviously I wouldn't just buy and sell at all these points. You obviously want to take into consideration direction of trends and all the other stuff that we should know from coming during the course. But I just want to pick out a few key candlesticks that I would have, been having a look at and been taking note of if I was looking for a reversal point. So obviously we know how to get our zones and stuff. So remember, when we're using our signals, we're only going to want to do that in high probability areas, because you will see all these signals in a lot of the places. But just like any other indicator or tool, they only really work 100%, or they work the best when it's in a high probability area. So yeah, just picking out a few candlesticks for you guys to have a look at. The type of candlesticks will be, you can see a big long black candlestick here with a couple of small ones in between, and then another one coming right up there with a very small wick at the top. And you can see that last candlestick has come up, it's matched. It's gone most of the way up that first candlestick. So if you have a look at that big black one coming down with the two smaller ones and the big white one coming up. So that will be your morning star. And it very much looks like a U-turn in the market. And you can see what happens. Obviously bears pushed down. There's a little bit of a tug of war there in between with no real winner. And then all of a sudden the bulls took control and the market went up. And then a couple more here. You've obviously got, well, first of all, you've got a little hammer there. And often you'll find these or multiple signals at round about the same place. So if you have a look at that area there, you've got that hammer there, then you've got like another little hammer here, and then you've also got that big bullish candle. And you'll see this often at a key level. Obviously the market's been rejecting off these levels, and the last few candlesticks, yeah, they've had wicks going up and down, but their bodies have been quite small. So it signifies there's not really much volume in the market. And volatility in the market, and then all of a sudden you get this big bullish candlestick that closes above the last 1, 2, 3, 4 candlesticks. So that's quite a strong signal. If something is going down, here you can see we've had a high, a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Yes, we got a higher high, but the candlestick didn't close higher than the previous low. And then we had a lower high and a lower low. And then all of a sudden we had this big bullish candlestick, and it closed above the high of the last 1, 2, 3, 4 candlesticks. So if the market was still going to go down, then it's very likely to close above the previous 4 highs. And it's a strong indication that the market went up. A few more that stick out for me. When you have a candlestick that looks like this, see where the orange line is there, and you've got that big long wick, and then the small bodies in the bottom 25%. That's obviously your shooting star candlestick, and a very, very strong sign that the market's going to reject off that level, which obviously it did. Have a look at this one. Okay, so here we've got, again, it's another U-turn really. So it's a big black one coming down, small one in the middle, and then that big white candlestick coming up. So there's your morning star. Again, here you've got a big white one coming up, followed by a big black one coming down that closes below the previous candlestick. And you know, always take note when you see that it's a very, you know, there's not much wick coming out. So it means that the market hadn't retraced back up. Probably even a better example would be this candlestick here. You know, again, you've had these couple of small bodies there, and all of a sudden a big bullish one. It's got very little wicks at the top, if any. So it's a sure sign that the market is going up. Here's one coming down as well. Again, you've got a big black body that closes below the low of the last couple of candlesticks or so, 2 or 3 candlesticks. And again, the telltale sign is that it's a large candlestick with hardly any wick. Now, you don't really want the wick to be going up halfway again, you know. There we go, another one where you've got a big black candlestick coming down and then a big white one, very little wicks or no wick. So that would be your, not your dark cloud cover, what's the other one? My brain at the moment. Piercing line, there we go. So that would be your piercing line where you've had the big black one coming down and then a big white one coming up as well. And you can see the market just popped up again. Here's your tweezer tops. So yeah, you can say they're hammers. They're both hammers, but both of them together would be your tweezer tops. So you've got one hammer after another. So it's a double confirmation. And again, guys, you know, that's why we have our stop loss above, because, you know, you might decide to enter trades at the close of that shooting star, but be prepared because the market often goes up and retests that level. So it's not a bad thing. If you get 2 of them together, it just means the bulls are trying to push up. The bears are just saying, no way, pushing it back down. There's another hammer here. Again, we have a little up movement. Another one with the, you know, where you have these small candlesticks and then you have another candlestick that closes above all the highs, all the previous highs here. And again, here you've got a long one coming up, 2 small ones in the middle, and then a big black one. Hardly any wick at the end of that. Same thing again, you've got the dark cloud cover, so you've got that big white one coming up and then the big black one coming down. If you were to combine these 2 candlesticks, you would get a shooting star because the candlestick opened there, it pushed all the way up, came back down, and then the second candlestick would have closed there. So you'd have got a shooting star if you combine those 2 candlesticks. So sometimes think about what the candlestick would look like if you combined them. If you combined them, basically what it would look like is that you'd have a, let's see, a wick going like that, and then you'd have a body where the white one opened, and then it would come down and then close where the black one closes there. So if you combine those candlesticks, your candlestick would look something like that, which is a shooting star. So have a think about what candlesticks would look like if you combine them. Obviously, we know that shooting star would be a bearish candlestick pattern. There's another shooting star there. There's another kind of like a dark cloud cover, and then you've got your tweezer tops here. You know, whenever you see, there's a couple of wicks here, but there's quite a few wicks. It's always a strong sign to say, you know, that's a strong level. It's the market is being rejected off at that level. You see all these wicks, often at the same level. So it shows you that that horizontal level there is a powerful level. And watch out for that level in the future as well. It just means that the bulls have tried to push up, but the bears just said, hold on a minute, no way, you're not breaking through this level. Another shooting star, small shooting star. When you have a hammer or a shooting star which is quite small, which I would say this one is, if you compare it to this hammer, for example, which is a massive hammer, but when you have one that is a small shooting star or a small hammer, it's nicer if you've got the body in the direction that you're expecting it to be. So obviously shooting star is a bearish pattern. If it was a long one, it wouldn't really matter if the body was black or white. But because this is a small one, you want the body to be black for it to be a decent signal or to get the best from the signal. So yeah, candlesticks, guys, it's not the easiest thing to get the hang of, but just, as I say, open up your charts, check out a few charts and just see what happens at the corner of the zigzags, really, because that's where the market has proven to be reversing. And just screen time, just get your eyes in, get some of the other indicators on as well. You know, I always say sometimes what happens is that you'll have the stochastic give you a nice signal, but then if you see what the candlestick looks like at that particular point, then you can identify some candlestick patterns as well. So guys, I hope that helped some of you. Shout if you've got questions, you know where we are. So yeah, I hope it helps.